Okay, so picture this, your workflow. It's running absolutely perfectly in your Jupyter notebook. You've prototyped it, you've tested it, it's a thing of beauty. But then, the moment you push to production and you hit just 10,000 requests a day, the entire system just catastrophically fails. Your latency spikes from a clean 245 milliseconds to over 1,800. Your costs balloon to a staggering $22,000 a month, and that's just on redundant tokens. And the real kicker? A single, tiny, transient API error forces the entire pipeline to restart from scratch, throwing away every single bit of work that came before it.
And this right here, this brings us to the core thesis of this entire explainer. At scale, those elegant abstractions that make for amazing demos, they become catastrophic bottlenecks. It is time to stop treating agents like they're just smart chat rooms. They're not. They are distributed systems problems first and AI problems second. So we're putting these frameworks under a production stress test. Because let's be real, this isn't some theoretical problem. 10,000 requests a day, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's about 7 requests per minute with some peaks of maybe 50 to 100. This is just standard traffic for any reasonably successful app. So this isn't a hypothetical. This is the exact moderate load that completely shatters most agentic stocks.
Okay, let's dive into this number for a second. A staggering 70% of regulated enterprises find themselves ripping out and rebuilding their agent stacks every 3 months. Now, why? It's because they chose frameworks that were built for slick demos, not for the gritty reality of operational durability. Today, we're going to break down exactly why this keeps happening, and more importantly, how you can avoid being part of that 70%.
So let's start with CrewAI and its #1 failure mode, what I call the Deliberation Gap. CrewAI uses this really cool sociological role-based abstraction. You define your agents with roles, researcher, writer, and it's incredibly intuitive when you're prototyping. But here's the catch. In production, this beautiful abstraction creates a massive bottleneck. Why? Because the framework is built on this idea of autonomy. The agent has to pause and generate a complete plan before it's even allowed to call a single tool.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the hard data. In a simple benchmark for a flight finder agent, the total time it took was 9 seconds. A full 5 of those seconds, 5, were spent just on this internal deliberation. The agent was just thinking about what to do, burning compute, burning time, before it ever made a single API call. That is 5 seconds of pure, unadulterated waste, and it's multiplied by every single request you serve. Next up, let's talk about AutoGen. Its model is to treat orchestration like a multi-turn conversation. And that feels natural, right? But it hides this incredibly toxic cost problem, token amplification. You see, in this model, the agents pass the entire conversation history back and forth with every single turn. The context window just balloons with redundant information over and over again. And this just perfectly illustrates the financial danger you're in. If you have poorly designed tools, you can trap these agents in what are called overthinking loops. They just debate trivial actions back and forth, and before you know it, they've inflated your token consumption by up to 142 times. And it gets worse. When an agent fails and tries to recover on its own, those desperate retry loops can burn 9 times more tokens than a successful run, just silently incinerating your entire infrastructure budget. And finally, we get to the most brutal problem of all. The simple mathematics of cascading failure. This applies to any workflow that's linear, that's stateless, and that has no checkpointing. The logic is simple, and it is absolutely unforgiving. Your end-to-end success rate is just the success rate of each individual step multiplied together. So check this out. It's the crucial point. Let's say you have a 20-step workflow, and each step is like stellar, 95% reliable. You'd think you're in great shape, right? Wrong. Your chance of the entire workflow succeeding from end to end plummets to just 36%. And if you have a failure at step 19, you lose everything. You have to start all the way back at step 1, which doubles your latency and your costs for that one request. And this all leads us to a really hard truth, that emergent autonomy, the very thing that makes these demos so compelling and magical, it's a massive liability in production. Unpredictable behavior, wasted resources, cascading failures, these are not features you want when you have real users and real money on the line. And look, if building robust production-grade systems is what you do, then go ahead and subscribe. This is what we cover every single week. Now, let's get to the fix. So what is the fix? Well, it requires a fundamental shift in your mental model. We have to move away from this idea of emergent autonomy and towards what I call deterministic state machine orchestration. And this isn't just about a new tool, it's a completely new way of thinking about how to build these systems. In this model, agents are not unpredictable chatbots. They are state machines. Think of them like trains on a track. The LLM's job isn't to roam freely. Its job is to act as a controlled reasoning function that decides which switch to flip to get the system from one strictly defined state to the next. You define the tracks deterministically, and the LLM can only operate within those predefined nodes. And the framework that has really emerged as the production standard for this architecture is LangGraph. It explicitly maps your workflows onto directed graphs, which gives you precise visual control over the entire execution flow. The LLM is no longer this freewheeling protagonist. It's a powerful component that's executing within a system that you have architected for durability. All right, so let's get into the blueprint. We're going to see exactly how this architecture systematically dismantles every single one of those catastrophic failure modes that we just identified. This is where the theory actually gets built. The whole blueprint is built on 4 core architectural patterns. First, we're going to replace those bloated conversation histories with explicit, typed state. Second, we'll use middleware for gating and cost control. Third, we implement checkpointing for durable, resumable execution. And fourth, we build in safe interrupts for human-in-the-loop approvals. So let's tackle the first pattern and see how this builds. Instead of passing around these massive, redundant message logs like AutoGen does, LangGraph uses a shared typed data structure for state. And here's the genius part. Nodes in the graph only return state deltas, which means only the specific fields that actually changed. This one move eliminates context bloat and directly solves token amplification. But it gets deeper with the second pattern, middleware gating. LangGraph lets you add hooks that intercept requests right before they hit the LLM. So if a request violates a compliance rule, you can just reject it instantly, and it costs you 0 in inference. And this right here brilliantly illustrates the power of checkpointing. LangGraph persists the entire state of your workflow at every single step. So what happens when a transient error crashes your process at step 8? No big deal. The system just automatically rehydrates the state and resumes right from step 8, which completely eliminates the math of cascading failure. And this durability extends to human intervention too. With the fourth pattern, human-in-the-loop interrupts, you can flag high-risk nodes. The graph will pause, save its state, and just wait for a human to approve, without consuming any compute. Then it resumes exactly where it left off. That is production control. Okay, so we've talked about the architecture. We've talked about the theory. Now let's get to the good stuff, the hard numbers. This is the quantifiable impact of this architectural shift when you put these frameworks head-to-head under a real production load. Yeah, the results are not subtle. LangGraph maintains a median latency of 245 milliseconds, absolutely crushing CrewAI's 1650 and AutoGen's 1800. For cost, LangGraph is setting around $500 per million tasks, while AutoGen can easily exceed $1,500. And this durable state also unlocks time travel debugging. So when a run fails, you can literally rewind to the exact state of the failure and test a fix instantly. You can turn 30 minutes of digging through logs into seconds. The cost savings are just as dramatic, and they come directly from the architecture. By combining those efficient state deltas with middleware for prompt caching on your big system prompts, production systems can slash their token costs by up to 90%. This isn't just some minor optimization. This is the difference between a profitable application and a complete economic failure. And so we come all the way back to our central thesis. The scoreboard just makes it undeniable. To build agents that can actually survive in the real world, you have to shift your paradigm. You have to stop optimizing for the AI first and start optimizing the workflow. At scale, these are distributed systems problems first and AI problems second. So what is the crucial point for you, the builder? It's this: use the right tool for the job. CrewAI is fantastic for rapid prototyping. Its abstractions let you get to a working demo faster than pretty much anything else. But when you are ready to ship, when reliability and cost actually matter, you migrate to LangGraph for production.
Look, this isn't just about theory. It's about what works in the trenches. I want to know what you're seeing. Comment below and tell me which framework you're running in production and what bottlenecks you've personally hit. I read every single one. And remember, stop optimizing models, start optimizing workflows. I'll see you in the next one.